ask for Manjinder to come forward to join Governor Yvonne Chester for the conferral of this award. I first met Manjinder a few years ago when she was president of the Sussex Law Society. She was attending a Law Society dinner, to which the University of Chichester Law Department had also been invited. In talking to her, it soon became apparent what an inspirational individual she is in both her role as a lawyer and a sportsperson. In making this award, we recognise and celebrate her accomplishments to date, some of which I will outline below. Manjinder attended the University of Bath, where she achieved a BSc in Economics and Politics. There, she made history as the first Sikh and Asian woman to play rugby for England, proudly wearing the red rose while representing England students at the University of Bath. Manjinder has since continued this passion for rugby, which also helped her secure her first legal appointment. She has played for club, county and country. She is deeply committed to the game and recognises the power of sport to transform lives. As such, in 2015, Manjinder founded Hove Girls Rugby. The programme has since grown to encompass 4 thriving teams, offering a nurturing and empowering environment for young girls to develop confidence, leadership and resilience through rugby. Her influence extends into the governance of sport. Manjinder serves on the England and Sussex Rugby Football Union disciplinary panels and was appointed to the England and Wales Cricket Board's Cricket Discipline Panel, where her integrity and fairness ensure that disciplinary processes remain balanced and transparent. She is also a non-executive director with the Lioness Coaching Academy. In addition to this, she sits on the Equality, Diversity and Inclusion Advisory Board for the Student Rugby Football Union, helping to shape national strategies to embed equality, diversity and inclusion across university-level rugby. This role represents her tireless dedication to advocating for systematic change, whereby she continues to challenge barriers and inspire greater representation and opportunity. Manjinder is also the founder of the British Asian Women in Rugby, which celebrates the achievements of Asian women and girls in the sport, whilst championing for greater representation at all levels of the game. Furthermore, she was recently asked to serve as the global ambassador for the first Sikh Games, promoting international participation and cultural pride through sport. If all of this was not exceptional enough, and I'm not quite sure when you sleep, Manjinder, alongside her sporting achievements, Manjinder has over 25 years' experience as a lawyer, with particular expertise in the areas of contract law and procurement. She is a highly respected solicitor and a champion for diversity and inclusion in the legal profession. In 2024, she was named Commercial and Corporate Lawyer of the Year by the Society of Asian Lawyers. This reflected her legal excellence and leadership. In 2023, she also made history as the first person of colour to serve as president of the Sussex Law Society since it was founded in 1866. This trailblazing achievement enabled her to further her commitment to opening doors for others and driving meaningful change within the legal profession. Despite Manjinder's demanding schedule, she made time to deliver the keynote speech at the University of Chichester's first Legal Careers Conference in 2024. This truly inspirational speech embodied the values of resilience, commitment, courage, and humour. Following this, Manjinder also took the time to speak individually to some of our University of Chichester law students, some of who are graduating today, inspiring them and giving them confidence to achieve their ambitions. Governor, in awarding this academic honour, we celebrate the achievements of Manjinder Nagra and show our respect and gratitude for the tireless work she does to advocate for equality, diversity and inclusion within sport and the legal profession. Thank you. I confer upon you the Honorary Master of the Law of the University of Chichester. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you, Vice-Chancellor Amy Elkington and Ellie Morehouse for this incredible honour today. This Honorary Master of Law conferred upon me has all actually come about with a simple act, and that was sitting next to someone at the Chichester Law Society dinner who looked like they might have been alone and possibly may have needed a little bit of company. And that person was Ellie Morehouse. It turns out she wasn't alone, but we chatted and I thought nothing of it. But that conversation led to an invitation for me to speak at the university's first inaugural law conference in March 2024, and now to this moment. At that conference, I shared my story for the first time, and I was nervous because I had not publicly spoken before. And I'll share a little snippet of that with you today, if I may. So I'm the youngest of 5, born to immigrant parents in the 70s in Slough. My interest in law was sparked by an American TV drama, some of you may remember, called LA Law. It was glitzy and it was glam and it was full of courtroom drama. But my reality was far from that. My mum was signed off sick when I was at primary school, and my dad died when I was 13, the same age as my daughter is today. Overnight, we were thrown into financial instability and insecurity. When I was walking to nursery, one of my earliest memories was holding my mother's hand and her being called the P word. I promised myself not to do this. Apologies. I also remember being... Thank you. I also remember feeling the weight of cultural expectations. To me, it felt like girls were treated differently to boys, and I found that quite limiting. And I think I realised then that I wanted to be personally and financially independent. And so I wanted a career where I could do that, be independent and advocate for others. So at university, I stumbled into rugby. I met the women's rugby team on a night out. It was a chance encounter, and they were so welcoming, and for every reason I gave not to play rugby, they offered me a solution. And in the end, I actually thought, well, why not? And I went out for a training session on a Wednesday, and I had my first match on a Sunday. And that sport became my sanctuary. It was my freedom. to be whoever I wanted to be on that pitch. As you've heard, I went on to play for England when I was selected to play for England students. And unknowingly, I did become the first Sikh Asian woman to do so. But rugby wasn't without its challenges. I was racially abused on the pitch. I was even called the N-word, a slur that didn't even reflect my cultural identity, but it still cut deep. And of course, my dream was to play for the full England senior team after my studies. But at that time, rugby wasn't part of the family plan. They wanted me to get married, settle down, have kids, learn to cook. And my life was very much like a rugby version of Bend It Like Beckham. So I tried to be the daughter and the sister that they wanted me to be, and I gave up my dream to play for England, and I hung up my boots. I then concentrated on applying for jobs, a training contract at the time, to qualify as a solicitor. And after a couple of years, I began to wonder why I was getting rejection after rejection after rejection. And at university, it happened that I'd written a paper on the socio and economic barriers to entry into the legal profession. Not to put off those law students, by the way, at the back. But the reality was that there were disparities in the legal profession faced by people that looked like me. So I began to wonder, was it my background? Was it my gender? Was it my name? At one point, I even thought about anglicising my name. And that still sits with me. But eventually, when I was about to give up on my dream to become a lawyer as well, this two-partner firm in Hove invited me for interview. And the first question they asked me was, what was it like to play rugby with a red rose on your jersey? They looked past my name and they gave me the chance. We talked about rugby for 45 minutes and I got the job. And that led on to me qualifying as a solicitor in, I think it was 2000, 2001. So rugby gave me more than sport. It gave me confidence, it gave me resilience, and it gave me community. It gave me transferable skills into the working world. And as you've heard, I'm still involved in rugby 3 decades on. And in fact, one of the most recent things, I'm proud of many things I've done, but I've just set up walking rugby at my club for a mixed team and a group of multicultural women. And it is absolutely joyous to see these women on a Saturday turn out with their hijabs, with their salwar kameez, whatever they want to wear, and they are playing rugby. So currently I still practice. I work at the Brighton Hove City Council. As you've heard, in 2023, I'm currently the immediate past president, and I was then elected the president of the Sussex Law Society, and I did become the first person of colour when I was elected. And in fact, I turned that role down twice because I didn't want to put my head above the parapet. But in the end, I thought, in the 20 years that I'd been practicing law, I'd never seen a person that looked like me in that role. And I thought, well, if I don't step up, who will? After my talk at the university here, Ellie told me 2 students were thinking about dropping out because of some racism they had encountered. And they didn't after they heard me speak about my journey. And that reminded me why representation matters, and even more so now. Showing up matters. So I want to say to you graduates, firstly, many congratulations. Please do enjoy this day. My graduation ceremony was some 30 years ago, and I do wish I'd relished those memories a bit more. But I will leave you with these 4 thoughts. Say yes to the unexpected. Some of the most life-changing opportunities for me were in moments that I didn't plan for, like stumbling into rugby. Rugby opened the door for me to law. A chance conversation at a law dinner. that actually has led on now. I was nervous about public speaking. I'm still mastering my craft, but it has led on now for me to be, I get engaged for public speaking opportunities. And that's something that wouldn't have happened if a door hadn't been opened for me by the university. So I would say stay open, curious, and willing to explore paths outside your comfort zone. Barriers will exist, break them anyway. Systemic, cultural, and barriers are real and will be real for some of you. But with research, resilience, and community support, they can be challenged and overcome. Community is your superpower, whether it's a sports team, whether it's a network, whether it's a professional circle. Community is what lifts us when we fall, celebrates us when we rise, and sees us when others don't. Build and nurture your communities. Find your people. They will lift you higher. And then finally, be the door for someone else. Don't just walk through it. Hold it open for others to come and follow you. I'd like to thank you again for this great honour and privilege. And I want to say one last thank you, and I've left it until the end, until I get emotional again. But I do want to thank my husband, who does lift me, and without whose support, while he manages everything around me, our children, I could not do the things, many of the things that I do now. So thank you, husband. So, thank you. That's it, actually. I just want to wish those graduates, I think that's enough. I just want to wish you all the very best. Please, this is an amazing part of your life now. It is the start of something fantastic. And, you know, like I say, just do remember those that have helped you along the way, and don't forget those that, you know, don't forget those as you make your way up. Lift those people with you. Thank you.